Why are people moving to Texas? Why are home prices so expensive? I've got some thoughts. If you're like me here in Central Texas, you're probably thinking this is crazy. Is this temporary? Or is this the new normal? Home prices, of course, are the result of supply and demand is still outpacing supply by a Texas mile, because Texas really is very appealing to outsiders. Heck, we know how great it is. In fact, I'm going on a family vacation next week to a lovely spot right here in our beautiful state, and yes, I'm taking the action cameras, and I'll be pasting some of that footage at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Welcome to my channel, everyone. I'm Tony Freese with Uncommon Realty, and I'd like to make it clear to my fellow Texans that I'm not encouraging anybody and everybody to move to Texas. I don't mind admitting up front that I like Texas just the way it is. In this video, I simply want to explain the why. Why is it so attractive? And consequently, getting so expensive? And, this is key, is it really all that expensive compared to other places? A perfect storm has been brewing in parts of the USA, especially for folks looking to escape excessive pandemic restrictions, unsafe areas, and out-of-control costs of living. That last one's really big. Even now, as Texans, we see prices going through the roof, but you still get much more home for your dollar here than in other states. There's a vast amount of buildable land in Texas, making homes much cheaper, rentals too. Check out my video on the Clear Springs area in New Braunfels, for instance, and tell me if in the last few years something like that could have developed in Southern California. You really can't just flip a switch over there and presto, have new affordable neighborhoods for thousands of people. Consumer prices are lower too. Groceries, restaurants, transportation, healthcare, stuff like that. Now, if folks want to be close to the big city, or even in it, that's possible. Especially with everything basically opened up here and you're free to go and eat and shop and enjoy the fruits of city life as you please. So the cities of Austin and San Antonio, and Houston and Dallas for that matter, are doing great. And companies based in those cities are hiring. Austin in particular is bursting with growth from out-of-state transplants going to work for one of these tech enterprises. Even with Austin's homeless problem, and they got a big one they're wrestling with, that's another topic altogether, it's still preferable to where some people want to move from. Now, like elsewhere, say San Francisco, they'll need to pay a premium because of the scarcity of land within the city limits. But again, it's still cheaper than many parts of the country. If you live on one of the coasts and you've been shopping for homes in Texas, you know this. Of course you do. But you know what? In Texas, people have the ability to get even more bang for their buck if they're willing to sacrifice some of that city life convenience and consider not only the suburbs, but one of the many smaller cities, towns, and rural country settings all over this great big beautiful state. I've helped a lot of people who started looking in Austin or San Antonio and wound up in one of the many towns in between and still had access to the city for commutes and day trips. A lot of people dream of a big home with a big backyard, at least a bigger home, with a privacy fence, the ability to turn the music up a little bit, have friends over, work in the garage. Is that you? Because something like that may not even be possible for millions of Americans on a modest income. It really is just a dream. So people want to move to Texas and have that. Texas offers properties that are more affordable, an excellent cost of living ranking, lots of choices for urban and rural areas, a robust employment environment, even during weaker economies. You know what? I can do this all day because there's a ton of these. There's no state income tax here. It's a mostly favorable year-round climate. There are strong educational opportunities, great schools and universities, vibrant arts and entertainment scene, festivals, concerts, theaters, lots of professional sports entertainment, hunting and fishing, of course, ocean, lakes, rivers, and big beautiful skies. No wonder people want to move here. And as far as home prices go, the long and short of it is, if demand exceeds supply, like we've seen over the last year, prices probably won't come down. But they may level off. A gentle pop, as opposed to a loud bang like I described a few videos ago. Many markets are reporting more listings as people finally decide to sell, perhaps realizing that this is as good as it's going to get for them. Houses are beginning to sit on the market for a little bit longer. And the building of new homes continues outside of and in between the big cities. Texas leads the country by far in new housing permits, but that's a slow process. opening up the lots and building houses to completion, over time it will meet the demand. I hope you get the picture. If you live in Texas and you want to relocate anywhere in between Austin and San Antonio, let me help. If you're not from here, but you like Texas and you want to be a part of it without trying to change it, yes, I want to hear all about that. But you got to reach out. Days, nights, weekends, text, call, or email. Thank you for watching. Now check this out. Looks like we're done for the day. Schlitterbahn tomorrow?